And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. What we're going to talk about today is your unfair advantage and how to get it. Because in the world today, obviously there's a lot of competition, and in order for you to dominate at highest levels, you must have unfair advantages. Not just one, but you've got to have several. But today I'm going to talk about one unfair advantage that allows you to succeed with all the other unfair advantages and allows you to rise to the top faster than anyone else. This is the Men of High Value channel, and that's why I'm going today mention semen retention. If you haven't practiced semen retention before, semen retention is basically you abstaining from any form of ejaculation over, let's say, a period of time of 90 days. That's the challenge very often that I offer to people, and that's kind of the popular challenge, because once you do the 90-day challenge, you notice the benefits without a doubt. Now, what are some benefits from semen retention over that 90-day period? I will mention 4 benefits. The first benefit is commitment levels. Very often, people have a hard time committing, investing all of themselves into something. Everyone talks about diversification and that you can't put all of your eggs in one basket and you can't do this and that, the other. The way I look at it is always best to focus on one thing at a time. There's one quote from Todd Duncan, who's a fantastic motivational speaker, and he said that you should put all of your eggs in one basket, and then you should watch the basket. That's basically explaining commitment. A commitment level that is higher than anyone else because you know that this thing is going to work. Now, obviously, if you can have 3 options, that's great. But more than 3 things that you're working on at any given time, it's just not going to last. So you're going to make sure that your commitment levels are at very, very high levels. What more commitment, or what bigger commitment can you find than committing to semen retention over a 90-day period? That requires an insane amount of commitment because I would say 99% of men can't do it. You gotta understand that a lot of guys are married. They ejaculate on a regular basis. And the single guys today with porn and just a lot of them, most of them, if you don't ejaculate, you are part of the very, very, very small minority. And to commit yourself to doing that will prove to yourself that you're massively committed. You're not going to go around and say, hey, I'm practicing semen retention. It's for you. It's for your mentality. And understanding to yourself that, man, I'm committed. This is going to happen. Do you understand? So that's where it's at. Increasing your commitment levels will, let's take it to the next step, it will increase your confidence levels. Now, what produces confidence? It's basically having options. Another aspect of confidence is knowing something in the back of your head, a secret that other people don't know about, an unfair advantage. You knowing that you're practicing semen retention and you actually increasing your willpower for every single day that you manage to abstain from ejaculation, that, like every single day, your confidence increases a small percent. For people who's never managed to last more than a week or 10 days or 2 weeks without ejaculation before, that confidence level doesn't rise just 1% per day. For some guys, their confidence doubles within a week simply because, man, I'm actually able to do this. And then imagine the following week, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm awesome. The confidence levels increases continuously the longer you're able to go without ejaculation because no one else is doing it. That's what's awesome about it. Another aspect of confidence comes in terms of women. Eventually, when you want to tap into that, knowing that I don't need women, but if I want to, I can. That is confidence. And that comes from you having a lower frequency of ejaculation than the next guy. Because the next guy, he ejaculates all the time, so he needs women, and women can sense it. And if you don't need them, you can easily talk to them, once that happens. So, again, it increases confidence whether you like it or not. And this comes in regard to sales as well. Women is just the same as sales. Like, you're selling yourself, and in business, you also have to sell your product or service. Knowing that you're practicing semen retention in the back of your mind has increased your confidence levels, and anything that has to do with sales is simply that you have to know that your certainty is greater than their doubt. If your certainty is greater than their doubt, no matter what is being discussed or negotiated, you'll always win. Because if they're doubting, they're wavering, they're like, I'm not sure. But if you're certain that this will be of benefit to them, they'll trust you. They'll trust that certainty because they are doubting. So your certainty must be greater than their doubt, and that comes from confidence, which you've gotten from the unfair advantage of semen retention. Another one is increase in focus. I love this topic, man. This is awesome. Success in anything requires focus. The biggest distraction in life will always be women. Now, aren't we grateful for that distraction? Absolutely. But if you're going through a period of time when you need to have success massively and fast, women is the last thing you want to be around because they've got a lot more issues than you do. And if you're going to solve their issues at the same time as you're solving your issues, it's not going to be able to be focused. So if you can learn how to focus your energy and your thinking, your lower frequency of ejaculation will allow you to do that simply because you don't need it. You don't need women. You don't need the distraction. You can actually focus instead on the task at hand that needs to be completed instead of feeling, I think I need sex, or I think I need to ejaculate or masturbate or whatever it is. I think I need porn. Oh, I'm depressed. No, you focus instead on your goals. This goes back again to a little bit with the commitment part and goal setting. Like, setting a goal of 90 days is not reason enough for you to complete the 90 days. You have to have a goal that is greater than the 90-day challenge. A reason strong enough. That could be a financial goal. It could be a business goal. It could be something. A goal that is greater than the 90-day challenge that motivates you to keep going with the 90-day challenge, and that kind of anchors it in as your why. You've got to have that bigger goal. So, and the last one, showing up. Have you heard that showing up is 80% of success? 20%, the rest of it is just the mechanics of going through the motions and actually doing the job. But 80% of it is showing up. If you show up, you're going to get results eventually, especially if you keep doing it again and again and again and again. Boring, mundane, repetitive tasks will take you to success. Very often you don't see that. It's invisible results. Now, obviously, it depends on kind of what arena you're in, and if you're actually, set yourself a big goal, Because if you don't set a big goal, then, very often boring, repetitive tasks is not going to help you at all. That's, for example, stamping letters at the post office or something. Like, obviously, that's a boring, repetitive task, but it's not going to get you very far. Does that make sense? So, I mean, be wise about the things that I'm saying. But I've got 2 stories for you. The one story was one of my students who's, he had a task that he asked me if I could help him with. And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not unavailable. You know what he said? He's like, oh man, that's too bad. I have to find someone else then because I'm sick. And I'm like, why are you sick? He's like, I'm just sick. I don't know why. And I'm like, you don't just get sick for no reason. Like, is it coughing or and he's like, I don't know why I'm sick. And I'm like, is it coughing? Is it fever? Is it throwing up? Like, what kind of sick is it? And he's like, yeah, it's fever. And I'm like, what? And he's like, suddenly yesterday. And I'm like, I know why. And it's because of semen retention. Now, if you don't know about the health benefits that comes from semen retention, then look it up. YouTube it. Google it. Because there are tons of health benefits. And if you want to show up every single day and never be sick, semen retention will massively help you towards that. Because there's a lot of nutrients, a lot of life essence, a lot of energy that goes into that. And the last story. 17th of May was the National Day of Norway. It's kind of the equivalent of the 4th of July in America. And what did I do on that day? I made sales calls. In my business, it requires me to actually make sales calls that, are very often cold calls, and, it's just something that needs to get done. Now, who else on an equivalent 4th of July day would do sales calls on 4th of July? Me. Why? Semen retention, and because I've got a huge goal that I want to achieve and accomplish. And what better day than 4th of July or 17th of May to call people and sell them something, or at least be in contact with them because they're fired up about the day. They're excited. They're with family. They're with friends, and they're smiling. It's the perfect time for you to call them and say, hey, you know what? I was thinking about you. Hope you're having a fantastic day. That was me showing up. Do you understand the unfair advantage? I'm linking that to semen retention because it keeps me fired up. It keeps me motivated. And not only that, it also imprints in my head to do what others are not willing to do. If you want the results that other people do not have, then do the things that other people are not willing to do. Use unconventional methods, as long as it's moral, legal, and all that stuff. Use unconventional methods in order to achieve unconventional results. Exactly. Semen retention is a huge, massive unfair advantage, and very few people are able to copy it. And that's why I know that this could be a solution for you. This is the Men of High Value channel. If you found value in this video, make sure you smash that like button. Comment down below of how semen retention has been an unfair advantage for you so that everyone who watches this video understand that it's not just me. And I'll see you again tomorrow.